Testosterone Week on TLC.
Throughout the ages, martial arts have served as a combined method of self-defense and spiritual guidance.
Higher consciousness through harder contact. That's where the more powerful transformation lies.
By turning the mind and body into an implement of war, these fighting techniques have kept the martial arts heritage alive for centuries. Meet the Grand Masters, whose strict codes of conduct still convert disciples all over the globe. And discover how these methods teach more than self-defense. They are a way of life. Next, on the Ultimate 10 Martial Arts. Ever since the first pair of enemies faced off on the battlefield, man has been refining the skills of war. Over the centuries, combat techniques began to encompass philosophy and religion, enhancing mental focus and promoting inner peace. Known collectively as martial arts, these disciplines continue to forge humans into lethal weapons and teach what it means to embody the true spirit of a warrior. Starting off our countdown at number 10, a martial art where size doesn't matter. It's how you take down your opponent that counts.
Then I go full speed without no concerns about get hurt or even get killed.
In the brutal world of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, it is possible for David to actually beat Goliath. Through strategic use of balance and leverage, one can zero in on an opponent's weakest points and force him to submit.
In my career, I have over 460 fights and I'm still undefeated. I never refuse a fight with nobody in the matter of the honor.
A celebrated world champion of the art, Rickson Gracie teaches the style at his Los Angeles Academy.
Weight on, slowly. Make him turn. Slow. Keep the weight on. Keep the weight on.
The Brazilian variation of jiu-jitsu is rooted in the traditional Japanese foundation of joint locks and leverage. Its departure from the original discipline has led to a greater emphasis on striking and ground fighting techniques, such as the arm bar, the leg lock, and the chokehold. The discipline was born in the city of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, where Gracie's father, Helio, first began to refine the Japanese art in the early 1920s. Small and weak, Helio studied traditional Japanese jiu-jitsu, but found its techniques ineffective against a more powerful opponent.
I didn't create jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu has been around for more than 2,000 years. What I did was perfect this type of jiu-jitsu.
Helio's son was born into an established fighting family with a reputation for being unbeatable. At 18 years old and weighing only 175 pounds, Gracie faced off against a champion named Zulu.
Nobody believes when I come up in the ring, was just a kid and this guy like 240 pounds, huge guy. Then when I turned the thing around and win the fight, was a sensational.
After beating Zulu in the ring, Gracie made it his mission to train full-time in preparation for competition against the best martial artists in the world. Every year, he takes the Gracie family's fighting style to Japan and meets other martial arts styles in the ring in an event called Vale Tudo, which means anything goes in Portuguese.
They love Vale Tudo because they can pretty much bring back the spirit of the old samurai style, two go in, one come out, regardless of the rules.
Winning here demonstrates that Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu's techniques consistently beat other styles in the ring. For proving that size doesn't matter, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is grounded at the number 10 spot on our countdown. Coming in at number 9 is a martial art known affectionately as the School of Hard Knocks.
I got cracked one time, a horizontal shot to the head. I think I must have lost an IQ point on that one.
These are devotees of Kali, a Philippine art which evolved over 1,000 years from jungle warfare. Its most common weapon, the stick. Moving at blistering speeds and easily capable of splintering bones, one well-placed strike could spell disaster.
There's nothing that'll put you in the present like a stick buzzing by your head. No time for talk, no time for chatter. Just ow.
These are the Dog Brothers, a Southern California group dedicated to practicing Kali at full speed with full contact. But their ultimate goal is not about winning.
Higher consciousness through harder contact. Only you are responsible for you. That's where the more powerful transformation lies. And so it's not for most people.
Unlike other Kali schools, which use full-body armor for protection, the only gear for these athletes is a helmet and gloves.
That's it, yes. You need to step out there with an understanding you are putting yourself online. It escalates a little, so. We had a guy whose kneecap was split in half.
We're gonna let the paramedics take.
Lots of broken hands, couple of broken ribs, some broken arms. It's pretty dangerous.
The danger intensifies with the type of weapons chosen. And Kali is one of the most weapons-intensive of all martial arts. In Princeton, New Jersey, Kali instructor Rick Tucci trains his students in ancient weapon forms steeped in tradition.
A person who does the Filipino martial arts or Kali has to be efficient in using various weapons, being able to adapt various weapons. For me, it's a very, very complete martial art, an effective martial art.
Kali's lethal fighting style grew out of fierce tribal competition and eventually expanded to encompass empty-hand fighting, combat with bladed weapons, and even projectile weapons. While the style incorporates more than 50 different weapons, the stick is the most recognizable. Philippine-grown rattan is heat-treated for bone-jarring hardness, varying in length from a few inches to several feet. The sticks are put to use in a sophisticated system of mathematical attacks and defenses.
One of the things about the stick is the way it can move and be very deceptive. It is not really possible to block. The whole mindset of the higher level of the art is simply to hit whatever comes at you, because if you are reactive, you cannot keep up with it. What we do when we fight at a gathering, it's the young males competing in a certain sense, but it is also about putting a place of personal power within yourself that you can call upon in the rest of your life.
Yeah! Thank you very much.
For its punishing mix of ferocity and technique, Kali strikes number 9 on our countdown. Next, a martial art that made its debut in a young country's military.
One thing I know for sure, that nobody trains like Israel Army.
Nice. Listen, I want you to spin so fast that your hair flies around. And it has to be, like, remember we talked earlier about an explosion? I don't want it gradual. I don't want it to be, I want you just to fly.
Developed in the Middle East for hand-to-hand combat, the first rule of Krav Maga is to come home alive. At the Krav Maga Center in Los Angeles, California, students learn to apply their defensive instincts and survive a sudden attack.
It comes, if my body's out of the line of fire, my hand should be coming from my body. Look how I go to the weapon. Thumb is where?
This no-nonsense system is the official martial art for the Israeli army, and today is taught to police agencies and SWAT teams around the world.
So basically, it's my shoulder, it's my hips, it's my whole body versus his right thumb. This system was developed for real-life danger without any rules, without any limitations.
Both civilians and law enforcement are attracted to Krav Maga because the system was created with one objective: to stop the enemy in their tracks.
You're doing great. That's nice. Excellent. Keep going. The seminar that we were doing today happens to be a handgun defense seminar. It's a 4-hour intensive course. Good. I don't want you catching like this. Like this. Okay, you'll see why in a second. Let's go! Good job, guys.
Krav Maga's origins date back to World War II, when Emmy Litchfield, a refugee from Czechoslovakia, fled to Palestine and joined the fight to create a Jewish state. Already skilled as a wrestler and boxer, Litchfield began to teach his fellow soldiers how to fight and survive.
The philosophy behind Krav Maga: finish the situation fast as you can. Try to stay alive, try to stay without injury. Make damage as much as you can. Disengage. Move out from there.
Right here, right back, right here, right back. Don't drop your hands on the way back. We feel that, as opposed to other systems and other arts, we can bring people to a much higher level in a shorter amount of time. Under stress, you can perform it because you don't have to think about it, it's already in you.
For its ability to rapidly diffuse the most dangerous situations, Krav Maga defends the number 8 spot on our list. Coming up, priming the next generation of Olympians. And a modern-day samurai summons an invisible force field.
Among the samurai, they have an old saying: cry in the dojo, laugh on the battlefield.
Total Testosterone Week is brought to you by Rolling Rock Beer. Grab a rock.
To cool their food, males use a technique known as the reverse blow. The Rolling Rock continues the cooling process.
Grab a rock. So, set up a department meeting for tomorrow and put in a call to the client. Get them up to speed. Anything else?
Here's a thought. Instead of saving money by not using paper, we could just go to Staples.
Yeah, with Staples 365 savings, they compare prices and back it up with a 110% price match guarantee.
I like that. Jot that down.
Now get Staples 365 savings delivered. Just call 1-800-STAPLES or visit staples.com today.
Castrol AccuVision Rain Repellent applies quicker and easier than Rain-X, so you can use it whenever you have a spare minute. Castrol AccuVision, the 1-minute rain repellent.
You're quitting? You are my hero! Woo! Oh, why Nicoderm CQ?
Well, I'm not a superhero.
Yes, you are. I never got how these things work.
Okay, you just wake up, put one on.
Just one.
That's what's cool, one lasts 24 hours.
So, what are we waiting for?
Helps calm cravings all day long.
And the steps?
You step down gradually, so you're free.
You're not a superhero? You don't have to be. You've got Nicoderm CQ.
Shelly, listen, it's Greg. I'm at the dentist. Yeah, okay. Shelly, I want to come into work. They don't know what I've got. I have a tooth. Scratching, rashing, 24-hour, like, mumps. What else can I have? I am really sick. Both ears gone. Really bad haircut. I'm in traction.
The Acura MDX with torque managing 4-wheel drive.
I was eating wax fruit this week. No.
Taking the SUV to a place it's never been before.
TLC's constructing a big night of enormous structures. The Brooklyn Bridge, the Superdome, Epcot Center. From monuments designed by protractors and plumb lines to computer-created concert halls. From the skyscrapers of old to Frank Gehry's ultra-modern creations to cutting-edge space stations. Dig into TLC's Night of American Giants. Superstructures of America, next Sunday starting at 9, only on TLC.
It's a very long season, very tough season. Anything can happen.
Come on, you can do it.
To me, Spalding was a new beginning. I gained things that I had lost. I believe that Spalding changed my life, and I'd tell anyone that I think they could do the same for them.
At Spalding Rehabilitation Hospital, we are uniquely qualified to help Trish with her remarkable recovery. We're one of the country's largest facilities for rehabilitation services and one of the best. Our patients range from the most medically complex individual to the athlete with a minor sports injury. Spalding Rehabilitation Hospital, ranked #1 in New England.
You're watching Total Testosterone Week on TLC.
We're back with our countdown of the Ultimate 10 martial arts. Kicking into the #7 spot is the most widely practiced martial art in the world, and for good reason.
We teach self-discipline and self-control. If you don't have all these aspects together, then you never will become a champion in life.
More than 1,000 years ago, Korean warriors developed unarmed self-defense techniques to complement their skills with weapons. But in the last century, Japanese occupation suppressed their style. When Korea was finally liberated in 1945, martial art masters united the uniquely Korean schools, or kwans, into a single national sport. They called it Taekwondo. And in the last 5 decades, it has become part of a worldwide phenomenon. Known for its spinning kicks and potent hand techniques, Taekwondo literally translates into the way of the hand and foot.
Now, almost 200 countries running Taekwondo. More than 3,000 black belts in the world.
Taekwondo's global following led to its inclusion in the 2000 Sydney Olympics. Master Chun coached the American team to victory. Now his focus is to train the next generation of gold medalists.
We got 5 kids going to the Junior Nationals this time in Tampa, Florida from our school here.
Training requires learning the graceful and powerful kicking, punching, and blocking techniques practiced in traditional sets, known as hyung.
30 years ago, just a simple front snap kick, side kick, flying side kick. Now, back spinning hook kick, a lot of double kick, a lot of growing kicking technique.
Students must also become proficient in one-step sparring, short set sequences of attacks and counterattacks.
Fighting your classmates or fighting in a tournament, you're going to be used to that type of situation. And when you're actually encountered by somebody who wants to physically harm you, your mind will just click into that fighting mode and you'll be ready.
Tampa, Florida is home to this year's Junior Nationals, a qualifying competition for the national team. The competitors gear up for their matches. They'll have just 3 rounds to try and outscore their opponent.
The way you make a point is to kick above the torso, hitting the chest protector, or to the face, which are both 1 point.
Taekwondo matches are won with strategy and timing.
It's an aggressive sport. It's also very technical. It's kind of like chess. You can't just go out there and fight and expect to win.
A student of Master Chun's has made it to the quarterfinals.
Thank you. Make a training, okay? Very welcome. Okay, good. Almost close.
Illegal blows will be a punch to the face, will be a kick to anywhere below the belt level, or a sweep. Those would make you have a half-point deduction.
Ultimately, Master Chun's team is outmatched. But as much as this art has come to represent competition and winning, there is still a lifetime of learning in store for the students of Taekwondo.
Bend your knee, bend your knee.
For kickstarting the most prolific martial art in the world, Taekwondo scores the number 7 spot in our countdown. Next. Masters of this fighting style can summon an invisible force field.
We're trying to become one with the rhythm and the energy of the universe. And this is where we get our power.
In the center of downtown Los Angeles is a traditional academy, or dojo, dedicated to the ancient art of Aikido, which means the way of harmony with the life force. Reverend Kensho Furuya, a Zen Buddhist priest, teaches Aikido in its purest form.
The ideals that I try to instill in my students are the same ideals that the samurai have, because I follow the same method of training as the warrior long time ago with my students.
For hundreds of years, Japanese warlords fostered armies of warriors called samurai. In addition to being fiercely skilled swordsmen, they developed a spiritual foundation to support their combat methods.
After 1600, during an age of peace, martial arts began to develop in a more spiritual and a more intellectual way. And many of the great swordsmen and warriors during this period founded what we know as martial arts today.
Then in the early 20th century, a master named Yushiba began to solidify the balance between combat techniques and spirituality. He called this new Zen art Aikido.
It develops one sense of spacing and timing with your opponent so that you're always out of range of his attack.
Students learn to absorb the forces of an oncoming strike and effectively redirect it.
It always moves in a way not to collide or overcome the opponent's force, but to move with the opponent's force out of the range of fire.
Because Aikido is a defensive art, it doesn't mean that it can't also be used to make a counterattack.
Aikido has some striking technique, but no kicks. We use many types of throwing technique and joint techniques.
Furuya also trains his students in the ancient sword techniques of the samurai.
Iaido is the art of drawing, cutting, and returning the blade to the scabbard. There's very, very strict rules of protocol, of conduct, of codes of behavior and honor, which they also have to follow. This is an essential part of the training to develop the proper mental attitude, the proper mental focus, and to refine one's spirit so they can throw themselves into their training. Among the samurai, they have an old saying, cry in the dojo, laugh on the battlefield. So the hardest work is done in the dojo, on the mat, in practice. As I present the whole art to my students, hopefully they can use what I'm teaching them for their own fulfillment, not just to become a strong fighter, but to develop themselves as a human being too. So as my Zen master said, as a teacher, we're just stepping stones for our students.
For keeping the samurai spirit alive, Aikido embraces the number 6 spot on our countdown. Next, an art that turns the body and mind into a lethal weapon.
One wrong blow could be the end of your life.
And stay with us to find out what will be the number 1 ultimate martial art.
Total Testosterone Week is brought to you by Bryant. Call 1-888-999-BRYANT for the dealer nearest you. Bryant, whatever it takes.
You guys need a hand there?
Yeah.
It's gonna be a long day.
When you need help with your air conditioning, count on your Bryant dealer.
Got some problems.
He'll help you save money, too, with Puron, the environmentally sound refrigerant. Whenever, wherever, whatever it takes.
To cool their food, males use a technique known as the reverse blow. The Rolling Rock continues the cooling process. Grab a rock.
I wonder how our home equity loan's going.
I'll check.
Want banks to compete over you? At LendingTree.com, fill out one simple form and get up to 4 offers. When banks compete, you win at LendingTree.com.
It's just the same old thing. I need adventure, excitement. I'm suffocating.
Okay. You can drive.
Spice things up. The Hyundai Santa Fe. V6 power, full-time 4-wheel drive, and the freedom of America's best warranty plan. The Santa Fe.
Don't even think about it.
Abner, we're rich.
We're rich?
It's our new litter. It's got diamonds in it.
You are mistaken, my friends. The diamonds are odor-absorbing crystals in Tidy Cat's Crystals Blend.
Whatever. Tidy Cat's Crystals Blend.
So, what kind of dog are you interested in?
Oh, whatever.
So, what kind of motor oil do you want?
Pennzoil.
What you choose matters, so next time, ask for Pennzoil.
Tomorrow night on TLC, 500,000 bikers descend on Daytona.
All right, cook with fire!
It is not for the faint of heart. Total Testosterone Week continues with Daytona Motorcycle Madness tomorrow at 10 on TLC.
We live in an age where giants roam America. Enormous structures that have changed the face of our landscape and changed the way we live. Now, TLC constructs a night that digs into how these giants were created. Using cutting-edge animation and in-depth interviews, we investigate these breathtaking structures, the dogged visionaries that designed them, and the fearless people that built them. Superstructures of America, next Sunday starting at 9, only on TLC.
Think you know cars? Think again.
In Panic Mechanics, TLC's newest techno competition, teams have got 2 days to transform a car from ordinary to extraordinary. Circuit racers, dune buggies, gravity racers, obstacle courses, and oh yeah, tanks. Panic Mechanics, TLC's newest techno competition.
TLC's Panic Mechanics, starting Wednesday, April 24th at 10.
Only on TLC.
You're watching Total Testosterone Week on TLC.
Welcome back. We're halfway to number 1 on our countdown of the world's ultimate 10 martial arts. At number 5 is a mystifying martial art that makes the body impervious to pain.
Good. Now make sure that your kick stays about Obi level.
Dr. Rod Sakarnosky is the founder of a martial arts style known as Jukokai, a unique form that embodies components of ancient traditions from Okinawa, Japan, and China.
I am recognized in Okinawa and Japan as a soke. A soke is a head founder. So I am an accredited head founder of my own system at the rank of 10th degree black belt.
When Sakarnosky was a young Marine stationed in Okinawa, he found not one, but several masters specializing in different Japanese art forms. Once he earned their respect, they taught him about a remarkable internal power.
It's something that you can't see. It reminds me of electricity. You can't see electricity in a wall socket, but you go put your finger in there and you'll know it's there, and it's very real. It's the same thing with ki.
When he's ready, he's going to drop his hands and start keying up.
It's the idea of training the mind and the body and the breath to such a point as to where you not only learn to overcome fear, but you have total control of your body, which enables you to take a blow that would literally kill the average person.
The ability to be immune to the impact of a blow is the cornerstone of Sakarnosky's new technique. But learning how to absorb these potentially crippling blows is more than simply mind over matter.
Always focus out. Now you notice I didn't tense it. The focus comes from the breathing itself.
Twice a year, Sakarnosky's black belts from around the country make a pilgrimage to train with him in Point Sebago, Maine. Throughout 2 days of non-stop training, they'll sharpen their old skills and learn new ones. Breathing exercises have slowed this student's heart rate and relaxed his mind. Now he is ready to take a hit.
This is not magic. It's something that you can develop in yourself with good instruction, and it works. All I can say is it works.
Sherry McGregor, one of only 2 female black belts in combat ki, prepares to take a kick.
When you kick, don't hold back, because if you hold back, then what you're doing is you're not teaching her to do her combat ki proper. Fair enough? Okay. Drill him as hard as you can drill him in the chest. So now we're going to have heart, Adam's apple, and testicles. Rapid duty, like you have 3 opponents coming on you. Hey! Hey! Hey!
Blows like these could easily damage internal organs, cause paralysis, or even death. But with the knowledge of combat ki, these students are safe.
We've never had an injury in 40 years. And that's taking the world's strongest wrestlers, boxers, karate men, it doesn't matter who they are.
Absorbing 4 punches at once is a risky demonstration, even for Steve Tilson, an 8-year veteran of combat ki.
Yeah! 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 Thank you, guys.
Light years above what you learn in any other martial art. Just think if you could walk through anybody's punch and kick without getting injured and put that person down and finish your techniques in a matter of a second or 2. Gives you a big advantage over normal martial artists.
For developing the power to absorb punishing blows, Jukokai hits our list at number 5. Next on our countdown, the Japanese art of the surprise attack.
Flashy stuff isn't the stuff that works. It's the stuff you can't see.
Throughout history, ninjas, a once secret society of Japanese warriors, have been both feared and revered for their legendary abilities. In a dojo outside of Tokyo, Mark Lithgow has studied for 12 years under the tutelage of Dr. Masaki Hatsumi, a 34th generation ninja.
So what's important here is that, you're using the bow, but you're not using the bow. So if you have the bow, if you don't have the bow, it's all the same.
After being here for 2 years, I just realized there was so much depth to the art that I just looked on the calendar one day and realized I haven't learned anything. I better stay a little longer. And I just never even thought about going home.
It's similar to religion. As a person, you have to protect certain things, and that's the fundamental premise of ninjutsu. Skill, law, and heart, these are the things to protect.
While it's not technically a religion, ninjutsu is similar to many Eastern faiths which emphasize the loss of self or ego.
What we're taught is to try to become zero. Don't be strong, don't be weak. And you should not even be yourself in a fight. You are responding to what the opponent does.
1,000 years ago, hundreds of ninja clans lived in the mountains of Japan. Outcasts of society, they developed into a warrior sect of their own. They practiced guerrilla warfare, and legend has attributed superhuman powers to the elusive ninja.
Imagine this warlord holed up in his castle, but then he hears that the enemy can turn into animals, or they can fly, or they can just appear in a puff of smoke. He's going to be scared.
As one of the last true masters of the art, Dr. Hatsumi has dedicated himself to keeping ninjutsu alive. And the essence of it, adaptive weapons use, still plays an important part.
We're trying to build this feeling in our bodies that anything can be used as a weapon. We might have our street weapons, our long and short sword maybe, and maybe a knife. But then for certain battlefield situations, you might want a smashing weapon rather than a cutting weapon.
And once practitioners achieve a high level of balance between the physical and spiritual realms, they develop the ability to sense an attack before it happens. The masters call it a sixth sense. This is the culmination of 10 years of training. What was once the path to the battlefield is now a road to enlightenment, as the next generation of ninjas is forged. For bringing the remarkable techniques of the Shadow Warrior into the light, ninjutsu finds the way into number 4 on our countdown.
Oh, you're gonna do your thing first?
Coming up on the Ultimate 10 Martial Arts Countdown, an ancient discipline goes into the ring.
These strikes are devastating. It's bone on bone.
And modern-day warriors are forging bodies of iron. And we'll find out which martial art makes it to number 1.
Total Testosterone Week is brought to you by Honda, the company that defines performance in motorcycles, ATVs, and scooters.
The closer you get, the more extreme it gets. The most extreme V-twins on the planet. VTX from Honda.
Chili's Mushroom Jack Fajitas with grilled chicken, jack cheese, and smoky bacon. Wow.
To cool their food, males use a technique known as the reverse blow. The rolling rock continues the cooling process.
Grab a rock.
The self-propelled Toro personal pace mower. It adjusts to your pace, however slow or fast that may be. Another smart idea from Toro.
All right, let's see here. 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths.
A real fixer-upper for artistic creative types. Formal dining room, a sweeping staircase. Oh, honey, a fireplace. Isn't that so fabulous?
The new 6-speed Acura CL Type S.
Tomorrow night on TLC, 500,000 bikers descend on Daytona.
All right, Cook with fire!
It is not for the faint of heart. Total Testosterone Week continues with Daytona Motorcycle Madness tomorrow at 10 on TLC.
How can VHIX.com help you decide on what vehicle to buy? With smart, thorough, unbiased, up-to-date research. And if you're trying to decide between a couple of different vehicles, at VHIX.com, you can compare them. Side by side, head to head, feature by feature, option by option, dollar for dollar. Try the side-by-side comparison at VHIX.com. It's your roadmap to the automotive world.
It's a very long season, very tough season. Anything can happen.
Come on, you can do it.
Welcome back. We're counting down to number 1 on the Ultimate 10 martial arts. Number 3 on our list sprang from the jungles of Southeast Asia.
In Thailand, it's as popular as putting basketball, baseball, and football all in one sport.
Muay Thai kickboxing is knocking out the fans. They gather from Bangkok to Las Vegas to witness fights that make professional boxing look tame.
You have somebody in front of you that's trying to hit you with 8 weapons, elbows, knees, kicks, punches. He's a professional martial artist. His goal is to destroy you.
His light middleweight belt up for grabs, Alex Gong, the 27-year-old American Muay Thai kickboxing champion, is once again in the spotlight.
My professional Muay Thai record is 25-2 with 60 knockouts.
For the past 6 years, Gong has taught Muay Thai kickboxing at his school in San Francisco.
When his shoulder doesn't get out here on the outside, his shin is in your range. I carry a lot on my shoulders, you know. A lot of people are counting on me, you know, to be the American that does real Thai style. You know, if I lose, it's kind of like the whole camp loses.
And when he's not teaching, he's training.
I train twice a day. The afternoon training session is the killer session.
The roots of Muay Thai are traced to the warring tribes in the jungles of Thailand. In the last century, it migrated to the cities and has risen to a national pastime.
You can't hit the groin, you can't hit certain joints. You can elbow pretty much everywhere except for the back of the head. When someone falls on the ground, you're not allowed to attack them as they fall. Pretty much everything else is a go. It's not boxed in like a lot of martial arts that you see traditionally. There's not forms, there's no belts. You actually focus on what's most important: movement, balance, timing. And those are the true elements of real fighting.
And it takes years of drills to prepare the body for this level of abuse.
We use Thai pads, leather pads that can handle heavy impact. The kicking is done with the shin. So these pads are designed to be held by trainers on the forearms.
Before his upcoming match, Gong and his trainers go on a pilgrimage to a Thai temple.
I wrote out a prayer of goodwill that I hope that I have the strength and courage to be my best. I brought this to the monks to bless it and to give me their goodwill, so I have more strength to draw upon when I'm in the ring.
Las Vegas, Nevada, fight capital of the world. The night before the match, at the weigh-in, Gong gets a first glimpse of his opponent, 22-year-old Duane Ludwig.
This gentleman comes to us from Denver, Colorado, with 28-2, 16 knockouts.
Although Ludwig doesn't have Gong's ring experience, he may have an edge.
Duane's biggest strength would be his hunger. This is his big shot. He can be world champion if he beats me. That walk from the dressing room to the ring is kind of scary. That's the only time I really get nervous.
Alex, F14, Gong!
That focus is scary. time he attacks, I want to be the one that finishes the attack. And I'm going to win scrimmage by scrimmage by scrimmage. Round by round by round.
Shorter left hand, right on the butt.
You're wearing boxing gloves, but other than that, it's bone-to-bone contact. Your shin develops itself like a baseball bat on most of these guys. And when they're striking to the body, these strikes are devastating. It's bone on bone.
As the challenger, Ludwig fought with passion. But without a knockout, it will be up to the judges to decide the winner.
Winner by split decision, and still highest grade light middleweight champion, Alex F. Portillo!
Back at his school, called the Fairtex Camp in San Francisco, Alex Gong resumes his schedule of coaching and training. He knows it's only a matter of time before he must defend his title once again. For kickstarting an international fight circuit, Muay Thai kickboxing knocks out the #3 spot on our list. Coming in at #2, it may look like punishment, but this abuse could lead to an extended warranty on life.
I think it's very good for your health.
Part of a tropical chain of islands in the East China Sea, Okinawa is officially part of Japan. But Okinawans have developed a culture and martial art uniquely their own. This is the illustrious birthplace of karate.
Karate ni sente nashi. It's a Japanese very important proverb. What you mean? It's first time is defense, then offense is important.
Sensei Tetsuhiro Hokama is a 9th degree black belt in Okinawan Goju-Ryu, one of 4 main styles of karate. It is based on the Chinese concept of yin and yang. One's body and mind must be trained in a spirit of humility. So that in critical times, one can be utterly devoted to the cause of justice. What Hokama puts his students through, he himself suffered at the hands of his teacher.
Grandfather, he taught me, but my mother, no, very, because every time is, and punch, training, then sometimes is cutting, then in karate is very, I like it.
The foundation of Okinawan karate is the battle between the mind, body, and spirit. The ultimate goal is to find a balance between all 3 and obtain a powerful focus.
If only technique, one, speed, nothing, very bad. 3 ways, same, one route is very important.
Karate literally translates into the way of the empty hand. Its short, quick strikes and precisely composed counterattacks were used by islanders to ward off attack by their neighbors from across the sea. Deprived of weapons by their attackers, everyday farm tools became deadly weapons. Today, while American kids are learning to swing a bat and catch a ball, their Okinawan counterparts are mastering an ancient system of kicks and punches to understand discipline. And it pays to start young. Okinawans have become world-renowned for their longevity.
Traditional karate was most important. Traditional is the culture. Culture is the area dagging, Why? Now many computer they make, but big.
For enlisting the past to prolong the future, karate ranks #2 on our list. Coming up, we'll reveal our #1 martial art.
Want to keep on top of Total Testosterone Week? Go to Discovery.com and click on TLC. We've got an interactive schedule with details about each show. Total Testosterone Week is online. Log on now.
Well, Doctor, I just bought this new car. It's loaded. V6, leather, power, everything. I got it all for under $24,000.
And you're having feelings of guilt?
Nah, actually, I feel great.
So why are you telling me?
Well, I'm telling everybody.
The XG350 from Hyundai, with the freedom of America's best warranty plan.
Excuse me, you got a minute? Not really. Just got this. V6, leather.
Get 0% APR financing on the XG350 at your Hyundai dealer today.
Abner, we're rich.
We're rich?
It's our new litter. It's got diamonds in it.
You are mistaken, my friends. The diamonds are odor-absorbing crystals in Tidy Cat's Crystals Blend.
Whatever.
Tidy Cat's Crystals Blend.
Castrol AccuVision Rain Repellent applies quicker and easier than Rain-X, so you can use it whenever you have a spare minute. Castrol AccuVision, the 1-minute rain repellent.
Let's get that home equity loan. It's the Hendersons.
Get him a great deal.
Want banks to compete over you? At LendingTree.com, fill out one simple form and get up to 4 offers. When banks compete, you win at LendingTree.com.
You guys need a hand there?
Yeah.
It's gonna be a long day.
When you need help with your air conditioning, count on your Bryant dealer.
Got some problems.
He'll help you save money, too, with Puron, the environmentally sound refrigerant. Whenever, wherever, whatever it takes.
To cool their food, males use a technique known as the reverse low. The Rolling Rock continues the cooling process.
Grab a rock. Tomorrow night on TLC, 500,000 bikers descend on Daytona.
All right, cook with fire!
It is not for the faint of heart. Total Testosterone Week continues with Daytona Motorcycle Madness tomorrow at 10 on TLC.
TLC's constructing a big night of enormous structures. The Brooklyn Bridge, the Superdome, Epcot Center. From monuments designed by protractors and plumb lines to computer-created concert halls. From the skyscrapers of old to Frank Gehry's ultra-modern creations to cutting-edge space stations. Dig into TLC's Night of American Giants. Superstructures of America, next Sunday starting at 9, only on TLC.
Whatever you do, don't panic.
Try to keep cool as TLC takes techno competition to a whole new level. Get ready for Panic Mechanics. This time it's about cars, and 2 teams compete to build them. They're not your everyday machines, and it's not just about racing.
Think you know cars? Think again.
Join host Trevor Nelson.
You got it?
For a new spin on building something out of nothing. TLC's Panic Mechanics, starting Wednesday, April 24th at 10.
Only on TLC.
We're back with our countdown of the Ultimate 10 martial arts. We've watched the forging of modern-day warriors, witnessed feats which defy the logic of the Western world, and examined ancient traditions still intact in the 21st century. Now it's time to unveil our final fighting style in the Ultimate 10 countdown. It has been called the grandfather of all martial arts.
Shaolin Temple martial arts is the traditional one, it's the original one.
For 1,500 years, Buddhist monks have been practicing Kung Fu at the Shaolin Temple in southern China. According to legend, Bodhidharma, a traveling Indian yogi, introduced the Shaolin monks to Buddhism. In order to sustain prolonged Buddhist meditation and to build their weak physical strength, the monks learned how to develop their internal energy, called Qi. For hundreds of years, the monks survived a life of solitude in the mountains, while the temple served as a refuge for battle-weary warriors who protected the monks from marauding barbarians. Eventually, the monks combined their Qi practices with the warriors' fighting techniques, and Shaolin Kung Fu was born.
Kung Fu connects your mental, your physical, your spiritual. Everything you do, it's Chan Buddhism.
Shi Yangming, a 34th generation monk, spent 17 years at the Shaolin Temple in China. He lived and trained as a warrior monk and learned life lessons that initiated him into an ancient brotherhood.
I want to bring the real tradition to America, to the world. I truly believe our Shaolin Temple martial arts can help a lot of people.
Now a Sifu, the Mandarin word for master, Shi Yangming traveled to New York to spread the combined teachings of Buddhism and Kung Fu and build the USA Shaolin Temple.
New York is the capital of the world. The people come from all over the world. I have more opportunity to express Shaolin Temple martial arts, to express Shaolin Temple Chan Buddhism.
For his students, it's a rare opportunity to train with a real Shaolin monk.
When I walked into the temple, Sifu had such a presence. It was incredible to believe that there was a Shaolin monk teaching here. Like Pavarotti is teaching opera, why would you go anywhere else? Doesn't make sense.
In their first 5 years of training, Shi Yangming's students will learn 5 animal forms, 30 stances, and more than 50 weapons, the fundamentals of Kung Fu.
If you understand what is Kung Fu, you're supposed to be soft as cotton, hard as steel.
Strengthening both the spirit and the body allows Shaolin masters to perform a unique Kung Fu discipline known as Iron Qi Gong.
It's to me very simple, because I have been practicing martial arts for 32 years. I have enough Qi to do those kind of things. Easy. Just like, hi, hello. Nothing to me. Kung Fu is hard work. Kung Fu about confidence. Kung Fu all about be yourself. Understanding. Respect. Challenge yourself and help yourself. Help others.
For giving the gift of Chan Buddhism and inspiring the globe with their time-tested fighting style, Shaolin Kung Fu takes the #1 spot in the ultimate 10 martial arts. We've witnessed ancient fighting styles still shrouded in secrecy, and examined battle-tested techniques that are arming legions of new recruits. We've ventured down the punishing path to a calm mind, body, and spirit. These martial arts have endured the ages and provide the key to both inner peace and a balanced life. The arts that live on today owe a debt to those that have paved the way before them. Their roles are diverse, but they all embody collective ancient wisdom and a path to unlocking our own potential.